If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing
Just
there.
go for it.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I mean, you're married, Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she's...
It started like any other ordinary morning. People were sipping their coffee, scrolling through the news, probably expecting to see the usual celebrity gossip, political drama, or a viral TikTok moment. But then, a headline stood out. A name jumped off the screen. Sunny Hostin. Now, normally when we see Sunny's name in the news, it's about something bold she said on The View, where she's known for having strong opinions and fiery debates. But this time...
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
It wasn't about her at all. It was about her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin. And trust me, the story was anything but flattering. Dr. Hostin is an orthopedic surgeon and the founder of Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. That's a fancy way of saying he helps people with joint problems, like knees and shoulders. But now, his name is wrapped up in something far more serious than a knee replacement or a torn ligament. He's at the center of a huge legal...
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
Storm, a massive lawsuit involving accusations of insurance fraud, illegal kickbacks, and even connections to a major RICO case. And get this, the lawsuit involves 180 people. Yes, you read that right. 180 defendants. That's not just a legal case, it's practically a movie script waiting to happen. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's break it down in plain English. What is RICO? Anyway, the RICO Act stands for Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations. It was originally created to take down mafia organizations and crime rings.
It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said, this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickback.
Think gangsters, mob bosses, and shady deals. But now, it's not mobsters in the hot seat. It's doctors, medical clinics, and even hospitals. So what does that mean? Basically, the government believes these people were working together like a criminal network. Instead of dealing drugs or running weapons, they were allegedly scamming the healthcare system out of millions. The lawsuit says Dr. Hostin and others took kickbacks, which means getting money under the table, for recommending or performing surgeries that might not have even been needed. That's right. Some patients were allegedly being told they needed surgery when they didn't, just so the doctors could bill the insurance and pocket the profits. Imagine going to a doctor because you trust them, only to find out later you were just part of a money-making scheme. That's not just upsetting, it's terrifying. What exactly is being accused? Dr.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a rabies-infested henhouse.
Hostin is being accused of performing unnecessary arthroscopic surgeries, which are minimally invasive procedures used to look inside joints like knees or shoulders. On the surface, these types of surgeries seem harmless, even helpful, but the lawsuit says many of them may not have been needed at all. According to the legal documents, the doctors were allegedly working with lawyers, clinics, and other shady middlemen to refer patients, do surgeries, and bill insurance companies like it was an assembly line. In return, everyone involved was supposedly getting a piece of the pie. It's the kind of behind-the-scenes operation that most people would never imagine happening in a doctor's office. The other side, who's suing? The company suing is American. Transit insurance company, ADIC. They're saying they were scammed out of millions of dollars. They claim they paid for surgeries that either didn't happen, weren't necessary, or were inflated in cost. Think of it like ordering a steak dinner and getting tofu. You paid top dollar, but what you got was completely different, and not in a good way. But let's be real for a second. Insurance companies aren't exactly innocent angels either. They're often accused of underpaying doctors, rejecting claims, for silly
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Twites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread
reasons, or using sneaky tricks to avoid paying out. So now, people are asking, is ADIC really trying to expose a massive fraud, or are they trying to shift the blame away from their own financial mess? Dr. Hostin's lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, is not holding back. He called the lawsuit baseless and said it's just a desperate move by a company on the edge of bankruptcy. He says ADIC is trying to recover money they lost, and they're dragging innocent people through the mud to do it. It's a classic legal strategy. When you're attacked, you fight back and point fingers. Enter Joe Rogan. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, Joe Rogan jumps into the conversation. Yep, the king of podcasts and media hot takes had something to say. He went off on The View, accusing the show, and especially Sunny Hostin, of being hypocrites. According to Rogan, Sunny has spent years on television judging others, acting like she's above scandal. But now, when it's her own family in trouble, silence. He even made fun of the show, saying, if you averaged out the IQ of The View hosts, you'd still struggle to hit triple digits. Ouch. That's a harsh jab, but his fans loved it. The comment lit up social media, with people taking sides left and right. But where is Sunny in all this? Here's what's really got people talking. Sunny Hostin has stayed completely silent about the whole thing. Now, anyone who watches The View knows that Sunny is never shy when it comes to speaking her mind. She's usually one of the first to jump into hot topics, political arguments, or social debates.